Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Intimate Conversations with Isa Favored. I hope you've subscribed to the channel. I'm starting there. I hope you've subscribed to my channel. If you have not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you click the notification button so that when we upload conversations, you're able to be notified. We do this every second Sunday at 1800 hours. So if you happen to catch it in the morning, at night, don't mind me when I say good afternoon. It is because of the time that I usually air my conversations. Welcome, and it's nice to have you, and thank you for opening a space for me to come and have a bit of conversation with you. Today, I'm a mother. I'm a mother, and as a parent, you realize that each year we have a group of graduates who finished their studies. And because I've been young, I know how it's like when you are at tertiary, when you are about to finish, you have these ideas in your head. You're thinking, I'm going to get a job, and this is how my life is going to be. You have plans. You're even thinking salary-wise, I'm gonna buy this car. But the reality of life is that sometimes it doesn't turn out like that. The job market is becoming tighter and tighter. So I thought, why don't I have a conversation with somebody who has experienced that, who finished their studies and they are still navigating the space of finding a job, so that we just encourage somebody. So mommy, daddy, brother, uncle, if you've got somebody who is a tertiary or about to finish, or they've just finished, you're busy currently preparing graduations and all that, catch them, tell them to have this conversation because it's very important. I have with me on my studio, I must read, guys. I must put glasses. Nosiphosethu Sibanyoni. She lives in Godini, went to Mjindini Secondary School. She is my alma mater. I was telling her that you are my alma mater because she went to the University of Limpopo. Now when I went there, it was University of the North. Teflop. So she is my alma mater. She studied communication studies degree. And she's going to tell us, I'm not going to read the other part of her profile. She will speak to it as we continue with the conversation. Welcome, Nosiphosethu.
Thank you so much for having me.
I said to her, when we spoke on the phone, she's like, hello, sis. I'm like, I'm not your sissy. I'm your mother. You cannot call me sissy. I am. So she gets here. I'm like, you see that I'm your mother? She's like, kind of.
You look very young. You look very young to be my mom.
I am a mother. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for agreeing. You studied at Teflop.
Yes. I studied communication studies at the University of Limpopo, 2018. I started in 2018. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you finished when did you graduate?
2021. We were supposed to graduate 2020, but COVID happened. So we graduated 2021 visually.
Shame.
I know.
You never got to.
I never got to wear that. It was a visual graduation.
No, COVID robbed you guys.
I know.
That moment when you hear that song and your name and you walked in that red carpet. So you had to do that. Oh no.
We never had to.
My heart goes out to every graduate who had to do a virtual graduation. Sorry, girls. Sorry, Nana. That is the worst that can ever happen to you, because in your entire when you see them during April, when you see them, the cars coming and you see them, that's one of the things that drives you.
You even thought of a dress way before.
And then life happens. But then that's what happens. Life happens. You've got to adjust and go with whatever happens at a particular time. Yeah. Why communication studies? Let's start there.
I wanted to do psychology first. Okay. But then when I got to the University of Limpopo, I only found that the psychology, they can only take a couple of people for psychology, and then I had to improvise, and then I went for communication.
Okay. So that was you improvising?
It was an improvisation. I was improvising.
And how was it after you? Okay, so you've improvised, which is they are not related fields. They are two totally different fields.
They are definitely not.
And because in your mind, when you thought psychology, you had a picture in mind.
Yes.
You had an end goal to say, when all is said, when I've done my junior degree, my honors, and then I'm going to be sitting like this in a couch with a notebook
And writing other people's thoughts and experiences. But it didn't happen like that. But the thing is, with communication, it was also a changing moment for me, because even in communication, you get to learn about communication. Is you have to learn with how to navigate communication with other people and how to just communicate.
And
with other
well, I
people
must say
there.
that you do that well. You're eloquent. You're able to. You're able to get it. So,
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
so you had then to adjust. And
Yes, I had
that
to
is one
adjust.
of the realities.
Yes.
That somebody who's recently graduated currently recently received their grade 12 results. Those are some of the choices that they had to make this year. That this is what I wanted to do. However, because of my APS score, maybe, or because the university is full,
Yes.
then you have to change. You could not wait. The choice to wait a year for the next year was not an option for you.
I was waitlisted in another university,
Okay.
but I thought the time was taking, so I had to get to university. I wasn't going to stay when my friends are going to university. I had to do something.
So it was the pressure of not wanting to be at home when
Exactly.
your friends. In retrospect, would you, if the chance came now, would you stay or would you still continue?
I think I would stay.
Okay.
I would stay. I think the chances for a psychology person compared to the communication field, they are much higher compared to the other one that I did right now.
So if we were to talk to a young person right now who has to make decisions, you would advise them rather gap here than take second option.
Yes. Actually, you have to research, even the second option or the first option, you have to research which one is in demand. Other than just going there because you like something.
Because you like something.
Yes. You have to wait and then do a research of which one you can get a job faster. Yes.
Okay. So there you have it, young people. We want to make sure that you make the right choices. Do not deal with the pressure of saying, I want to be at varsity. Listen to your big sister who's now gone through. Then you graduated. So 2020 was COVID. Things were really tight. Everything was closed. 2021, you have this idea. What was the dream? Now that you've studied communication science studies, what was the picture in mind?
When you go to varsity and study communication, there are a vast number of opportunities. You've got media communication, you have advertising and marketing, that's part of communication, sales and all those things. So you would think that if you get out of school, you will just get a job just like that, because there are a vast number of opportunities for that, only to find that it's not the case. You have this picture in your head that after varsity, I'll be doing this, I'll be getting this, fast, I'll be buying a car, fast, I'll be buying a house and stuff like that. It doesn't happen like that. And I urge you to just remove that from your mind, because it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life.
Is it still haunting you?
Kinda. But I have managed to actually look things on the brighter side of it.
On the brighter side. Okay. So let's talk 2021. Things are starting to, the levels, COVID levels, the stages of levels, levels. Now they're now, so things are starting to open up. It's not as tight as it was before. Then, did you get a job in 2021?
Yes, I did get a promotional job at the end of 2021, though, with another company called Mukuru. So I got the promotional job, but it was only seasonal. So it was November, December, then January. Then it ended on January.
How did you survive 2021? I want, the
2021 was tough. With you having the mentality of after school, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have this, I'm going to live my life in a certain way, and then you are unable to have that, you are unable to even have a glimpse of how that life can be. It's very, very frustrating. So 2021 was one of the worst years, I can say. It made me lose my mind in such a way because the thought of not getting the job, the thought of not being able to provide, because I'm the oldest, so I thought that by this time I was going to be able to help my mom with everything. So if I'm not able to get even a single job, because before this Mukuru project,
Yes.
I was trying to apply. I was trying to
yes,
apply.
yeah.
But when you apply, some people will tell you you're overqualified for certain things, and you don't even have experience. So how are you even overqualified for that?
Because
Exactly.
all I have is a junior degree.
Exactly.
And,
Others will tell you that you need experience. Most people will tell you you need experience in order to get a job. So my question was, how am I supposed to get experience if I do not work?
Yes.
Where am I going to get that experience?
Yes.
So yeah, it was like that. And then I tried. My mom was very supportive.
Okay.
That woman is very supportive. So she was the one who was able to help me and tell me it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You have to try and find something to do with your life, even if it's something you feel like you are unable to do. I don't like selling stuff very much, but I found out that I was good at it.
Okay.
At some point,
Okay.
that is why my mom was able to ask me if I wanted to start a small business or
Okay.
something, and then I said, yeah, let me try something out.
Okay.
So I started doing some poultry business,
Okay,
selling
girl.
chicken.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Where do you
Okay, so you buy some day-old chicks,
Okay.
and then you raise them to become the chicken that you usually eat from the shops. And then if you have a good market, it's going to sell very well. But if you don't, because at first I didn't have the market for it, so you have to lend other people, what do you call it? Credit.
Oh,
To other people around you, like
Yes.
people of the community, and that one is just crippling the business because people are not gonna pay you back.
They've already
Exactly.
eaten the chicken. They've forgotten that they own
Exactly, and
Hello.
they don't care. They don't care. So I had to find a strategy of selling the chickens in bulk to a certain person who was doing this chicken dust thingy.
Okay,
Yes, so that in that way it was easier that I'm going to raise them for 4 weeks and then sell them in bulk. So that one was much better. And it was a good business. It was a booming business, I don't want to lie. And the money from that was interesting and very nice because I worked for it. I worked for it, so it was just perfect. It was perfect.
So
But
were you alone in that business, or did you have people assisting you?
no, I was alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to do the tough work, taking out sawdust and putting other sawdust in. It was tough, but it was doable. If you were determined to do it, it's something you can do.
And then what happened to that business?
The weather happened.
Okay.
There was this other time, so it was winter, so there was frost. What do you call it? Cold. It was very cold. So the entire batch died, like 200 chickens. They all died because of the cold.
Really?
Yeah, so I couldn't wake up from that. It was too much. But that was 2022.
2022.
Yes.
And okay, yes, that. When you went to sleep, you woke up and they were all dead, or how did it happen?
They were all okay. Most of them were dead. Like there was like 10 left, but they were sickly, so they died eventually. They also died eventually.
Okay.
Yes.
Emotionally, because now you were used to this money coming in, right?
Man, that was painful. Like it was frustrating and very painful and disappointing because I was having the thing of saying I have something of my own. Now I have to start afresh or just leave it like that.
Okay, you spoke about the money being good. Didn't you have money put up aside, or within you could not find it to continue with the business? What was it?
I couldn't find it in me to continue because it was going to happen eventually. It's either the heat or the cold or rain.
Okay.
Because if it's like that, and 2022 it was raining, like it was raining even more.
You want shame? Let me
Yeah.
give you tissues. Guys, it's hot here. Shem. We've got,
It is hot.
It is
Thank you. So it was really hot and rainy. So if I continued, I was gonna suffer some loss again, and I couldn't put myself into that again because it was really, really disappointing and painful.
But isn't life like that?
It is.
So
It is.
it's so even now thinking about it, you will not do it again.
I would.
Okay.
I would. I was thinking of after getting something like a job or something, I can make it as a side hustle. If I can make it that, I can know that I'm not depending on it. So it's going to be much better. I'm going to do it knowing that it's just a side hustle. If something goes wrong, I'm not going to be in the
Devastated.
depression state again.
Okay.
Yes.
So it really hit you hard.
It did. It certainly hit me hard.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And support from home, what role did it play during that time?
I was able to do a number of things at home.
No, I meant when your babies, I'll call them your babies, when the business failed, what was mommy? Because you said your mom is very supportive.
Yes. She was. Okay, she wanted me to start again and do it again. And she told me it's not the end of the world. This can happen to anybody. Even the big businesses, it can
They go
happen.
through that.
Yes. So she wanted me to continue, but
So
I
it's
just
you.
couldn't. It was just me. I couldn't. Plus, I think I was tired because that thing is very draining. It is draining. So I needed a break for a minute or two. So yeah, I can blame them, but I can also blame myself for it. Yeah, I was getting tired of
Because I think the reality of life is that in life, I'm listening to you now and I'm thinking, from a business point of view, when COVID happened, businesses suffered. They were not ready for that.
Exactly.
Now you can imagine if all of them closed shop. Suguma girl.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. Suguma. Can you rise up then? And then after that, currently, so that was 2022. 2023, what were you doing?
I did an online course. It's written TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language.
I see it a lot on social media.
Yes, I have done that one. I did a certificate in teaching language as a foreign language. Teaching English as a foreign language, my bad.
It's okay.
And then after 6 months, it was like a 6 months course, but I did it in like 3 because you can.
It's online.
Yes, it's online. You can just schedule the way you want to learn.
Okay.
So I took 3 months to do that. After that, I took a week in between, and then I found another one online. It's play-based program, but that one is based in South Africa. Okay. So I did that one as well.
Okay.
I took another 3 months.
Have they paid off?
Yes.
What having done those, what are you using them for?
Okay, so the play-based program, I am able to be a teacher, primary school teacher.
Okay.
I can be a primary school teacher and teach English and all the other subjects. And for the TEFL, I can teach online.
Okay.
But I'm not doing that. I applied for teaching, English teaching in Taiwan and in Japan. But Japan is the one that is giving me my feedbacks.
Okay.
Yes, I have my last interview this coming Tuesday.
Okay.
Yes, for Japan. And after that, I just hope they're going to take me and then I'm going to leave for Japan. Yeah,
You want to leave?
but yes, definitely.
So you're not going to, it's not like the one where you're teaching online when you...
No, you go there, you teach in contact.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So by the time we actually air this, I hope your feedback will have been...
I think so because it's Tuesday.
So
and then
I'm gonna pray for you that you get positive feedback. Now, okay, let's talk about that. If you do get and go into Japan, have you done research in terms of South Africans that are currently in Japan, so that you know what awaits you?
Yes, I've done research for South Africans in Asia as a whole.
Asia as a whole.
Yes,
Okay.
but I have actually looked in Japan and in Taiwan.
Okay.
Because most of the people I know, they are in Taiwan.
Okay.
So I was hoping Taiwan is going to be the first one to actually accept me, because I know a lot of people there. It was going to be walk in the park. But then I got responses in Japan, and I've also done a research in Japan. It's a little bit different from South Africa, but not that different, especially for me, because I'm not a very social person that I have to go out on Saturdays or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fitting for me.
Okay.
The only thing I have to do is to remove my nose ring. And that's not a problem. That is
Oh,
not,
it's not allowed?
Yes, tattoos, nose rings, body art is not allowed except for this. Definitely not allowed.
I have no intentions of going there, so I'm okay.
Exactly. So,
Okay. So what would you say to a young person currently who, as you are preparing, as you are doing your research, as you are doing all this other, somebody else who probably they've just into their first year or into the first couple of months after they've finished and they are feeling suffocated, what would you say to them? What are your lessons that you have learned in these years? We are just in the beginning of we are on month 3 of 2024. What are the lessons that you have taken? By the time we add this, we'll be on month 4.
Okay, so as a young person, I would urge you to have ambition, have goals, because those are important, but also leave space for disappointment. By me saying leave space for disappointment, I'm not saying that you should give up on the things that you think are important, but you should just leave a space so that whenever you find that you don't get a job as instant, you'll be able to wait and not get depressed. Also, you have to find something else on the side to do. Find a hobby, find a side hustle, find whatever that you think you are good at and have that. If you have faith, just find your faith in God and whoever you have faith in, because that will be helpful for your mental health. Yes, so it's tough, but you are going to make it, because if you are determined and you have the goals and ambition, definitely you're going to make it eventually. Yes.
Emotionally, you've mentioned issues of mental health. There's, of course, people that you went to varsity with, and maybe some of them have gotten jobs.
Most of them.
Most of them.
Yes. Because
And
most
at
of
that
them
point,
were doing...
how do you, like, not jealousy, it's not jealousy.
No.
How does it make you feel?
At first,
2021,
2022, it was very depressing and hard, because you've seen those people. Some of them were not even doing this exact same thingy that you were doing, but you feel like I should be there too. Yes, but you are not. But then, like I said, you have to have something on your side that will help you with that. My mom was one of my pillars, and then my pastor.
Okay.
Yes, meaning I am a Christian, devoted Christian. So yes. My pastor helped me through a lot of things as well, because I don't want to lie. It's depressing to such a point that you feel like you have depression and anxiety, because this is just weighing on your mind so much. So you have to have something on the side that's going to help you mentally. If you have a therapist, just go there and vent and say whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to help your mental state. Most of my friends, some of my friends that I went to varsity with and they're still not working, they talk to me on the phone. I am kind of the pillar of strength, but I don't have somebody to talk to.
You have your mom and your pastor.
Yes, now I had my mom and my pastor, but before then I didn't. I didn't even know how to go to my mom and say, "Mom, this thing is weighing on me." But she could see it, and then she sat me down and said, "It's life. You can do this.
Yeah.
So just don't state yourself inside this thing, it's gonna pass. So you have to move on and stuff like that. And she was she is very supportive, and even now. She just give you something like an allowance or something just to say, go and do what other children do. Exactly. So it's helpful to have somebody like that as well.
Yeah, big ups to you, Mami. Big ups to you for doing that, because then it helps you not to
think of a lot of things. This is very depressing. I know it.
Yeah,
It's
I said, I remember when we spoke, I had said, I know that when I finished my, and back then, I only got a job, I started working in August. The 7 months of not working felt like 10 years.
Imagine 7 months.
I promise you. So I know, and I actually think back then, the pressures that we had back then, and the pressures that you guys have now as young people are totally different.
True.
Are totally different.
Very
So
true.
you need that support structure that will keep you going.
Exactly.
And from what I'm listening to you, also don't be choosy.
Don't. Ooh, you cannot be choosy. They say beggars can't be choosers. So if you have to scrub floors, you have to start there. But the thing is, we have this pride of saying, I went to varsity, I have a degree of some sort, I cannot start by cleaning toilets. No. But you have to, if you have to, because money is money, my guy.
As long
Money
as
is
it's clean money.
Exactly.
As long as it's clean money.
You don't have to turn to other things that are not okay.
Yeah.
So if you have to clean in order to get something, and besides, this other guy said to me, a job opens opportunities for another job.
Yes.
So if you are sitting at home and doing absolutely nothing, nobody's going to see you. No, nobody's going to notice that you are a hard worker and stuff like that. So you have to stand up from there and do something, even if it's selling on the streets and stuff like that. So you have to try something.
You've got to hustle.
Exactly.
As I listen, you've now basically started communication studies. You are now venturing into teaching. Of course, teaching is part of communicating.
Exactly.
But I see that you've said, here is an opportunity here. Let me rather take this opportunity and see what it has in store for me.
Yes.
Wish you all of the best in Japan.
Thank you. I'm just crossing my fingers as well.
Yeah, and if Japan goes well, we will do a virtual after you've settled.
Absolutely.
After you've settled, so that then we can share wherever life takes you. I would love to see you at a particular point in time where you say, "This is where I was. I've shared with you, the pains and the struggles, and not being choosy, and me not being choosy. This is where it has landed me right now."
Yeah. I also urge the people who are teachers, who has done a degree in teaching, to actually apply for this abroad teaching and stuff. Mm-hmm. It pays well, and it gives you the opportunity to go and showcase your teaching skills away from South Africa, except if you are scared of moving away from your comfort zone, because South Africa is very much of a comfort zone for most people.
A lot, yes.
Exactly. So if you are afraid of doing that, then stay and wait for an opportunity in South Africa. But if not, I think it's a good opportunity to just apply for those things.
And the application process, how long does it take?
After they have accepted you, or just...
Okay, maybe just for somebody who does not even know where to begin.
Oh.
So where do you apply? Where does somebody go to apply for this?
Okay, I've heard
Taiwan
people. Oh yes, I've heard a lot of people talking about teaching in Taiwan, teaching abroad and stuff. And I had some friends, but they're from Swaziland. They just moved there. So I asked them about the websites and stuff like that. So there's Teach Taiwan. There's ITS, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then the other one is TES. And then in Japan, there is... I don't know the names. They are Japanese and stuff, so I cannot know the names very well. Uh-huh. And then jobs in Japan as well. Okay. So you can just go to those websites and check, and then you'll see the qualifications, and you will see. But most of these ones, they do not take a degree from UNISA. They want you to be in contact in class. So distance learning, it's just a problem. Most of them, they just say they do not recognize UNISA.
Okay.
So if you are from other universities,
Cities, yes.
but UNISA, you can just apply.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You know, I believe that somebody who was on the verge of really frustrating themselves and thinking the situation is unique to them because they don't find a job, it's not unique. We are seeing a whole lot of, and it's life. There's a lot. We have a lot of graduates, but we do not have enough jobs to absorb the graduates.
True.
And I always say to somebody, the fact university or tertiary assist you in your ability to comprehend, to think, you may not pursue the actual field of study, but you have an ability to think that you would not have
Critical
had
thinking.
if you have not gone to varsity. So don't blame yourself and say, yeah, it was useless, because then others are probably saying it's useless to go to study. What are you saying to those who are saying it's useless, because it's not easy to find a job?
It is not useless to go to school. It is certainly not, because it opens you to a lot of opportunities. Imagine you only have a matric certificate and then there is an opportunity of somebody who has a certain degree. You are unable to even try. You're not even able to go to the door and say, can I try in this?
Yes.
But if you have some qualification of some sort, you are there in the race. You have the opportunity, and by God's grace, if mercy locates you, it is your chance.
Yes.
But if you do not have the qualification, it's not going to be easy.
It's not gonna
It
be
is not,
easy.
unless you know how to start a business of your own and become successful.
Yeah, because also there's a lot of people who are starting businesses. You've got to make sure that whatever business that you start, you've thought about it, you've done enough research.
Exactly.
And then all that goes into that.
Everything comes to going to school and studying at the end of the day.
All right, I've already said thank you, and then I opened the
A new
discussion.
conversation.
But thanks again, Nosiphosethu, for coming through. I really wish you the best. I really pray that God opens the door for you in Japan, and you go and represent South Africa and Swaziland, because you've got dual citizenship, and represent young people who love God, who say, who will be unapologetic also about being children of God.
Exactly.
So you go there and you represent, and greater opportunities open for you, and we see you shining and soaring higher and higher and higher.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being here.
Viewers at home, you've heard it. We just wanted to encourage young people. We wanted to say, as a young person, if you find yourself having just graduated, or maybe it's a year, or and without a job, it's not unique to you. And don't kill yourself. Don't sit and be depressed. Try and find other opportunities out there, because it's tough. It's tough, and the toughest survive. It's the fighters who are going to survive. If you're not going to be a fighter, it's going to swallow you. So we just want to say we wish you all of the best, and think other ideas, think other opportunities, and explore them. Don't limit yourself to what you've studied and say there is nothing else that you can do. To those who are still thinking, maybe I don't need to go to school, you do need to go to school. You do need to go to school. So if you've got the finances to go, make sure that you go. Don't disappoint your parents now, okay? Until next time, do remember to subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. Tell somebody and tell somebody and tell somebody. Let's just subscribe and have nice conversations together with you. Until next time, you take care.